Okay, good morning all. So let me stand here. Today we will be discussing one of the sample papers. Okay, question number 1. Rahman is a poor agricultural labor and needs a loan for cultivation on a small piece of land. Which of the following would definitely offer him a fair interest rate and flexible terms of condition? Okay, so just you will have to look at the options. Options are village money lender, obviously not going to be a good choice. Okay, cooperative society, okay, keep it aside since it is, it suits. Commercial bank, it's again private bank, okay, you cannot rely upon. And rich landowner, so all three A, C, D is wrong. Something cooperative society where they will be getting loans at the cheaper rate. Okay, so option B. And now Sahiya's teacher asked her a question to which she answered MGNREGA. What is that? Okay, which was enacted in the year 2005. What could have been the teacher's question? What could have been her question? Right to work. Okay, name the act that was devised to implement the right to work. In how many districts it was implemented? 625 districts. Okay, good. How many days of employment? If the government fails to give employment, what kind of compensation will be given? No, in other words, it is called as unemployment allowances. It is called unemployment allowances because the government is assuring the people that they will be giving 100 days of work. It is the responsibility of the government. That is the reason why it is called as right to work. When the government is failing to give that 100 days of work, it is their fault. So they will give 100 days of payment to you. Okay, payment could be like 150, something like that. Okay, it varies. And time to time they are changing, revising the payment. Now, which of the following steps would guarantee the welfare of the employees in the organized sector? Okay, so what is the welfare of the employees in the organized sector? What could be the answer? Payment of equal remuneration to men and women at the workplace. That is there, true. And protection of employment of women during the time of maternity. That is also true because maternity leave should be given. Also we have spoken about paternity. For the husbands, they will be given, but not like maternity leave mari romba prolonged huge leave kudukka matanga. It is paternity. Prohibition of child marriage and providing relief to victims. Payment of one-time bonus to all the retired employees. Now what is the answer? Okay, C, that is only P, Q and S. So payment of one-time bonus to all retired. It is here one-time bonus abindrathu they are talking about. No, is that one time? Is that one time? It's not going to be one time. It is called gratuity. We call it as gratuity. Gratuity is nothing but what? Gratuity na enada? No, it's a settlement. Okay. Gratuity. Gratuity is a settlement will be given at once for the retired employees. For example, when the employee is working for that particular organization, generally in government it happens. Okay, settlement abdin solo. Once for all, he will be given a lump sum of amount. Okay, so along with it, military la kuda, so many are other working ilya. After some 15 years of experience, when they come home, their salary maybe 18 months of the salary and plus other allowances. For example, their salary is around some 1 lakh abdina, 18 months of the salary and other allowances potu a lump sum amount will be given. That is called gratuity, which you could expect only in the organized sector. Most of your parents, will get retired. Government service when they get retired, they will be given this. That is called payment of one-time bonus to all retired employees. That will happen. Okay, pension is something different here. So you could expect those three privileges working in the organized sector. Okay, now how come it's eraser, right? Which of the following is not an example of process of globalization? what you could see, you should only look at the options, my dear. Don't look at the answers so quickly. Try to understand. Google's headquarters, okay, not an example of globalization. What is globalization in general? Rapid interconnection and okay, interconnection or integration between countries. Okay, now Google's headquarters being in California with multiple offices across the world, that itself satisfies the definition. Okay, but not an example. They have asked not an example, so it is an example of globalization. Railways being the largest public sector undertaking employer in India, which will never be called as globalization, will never come under globalization. Why? Railways, okay, railways is under Indian government, working under only one level of country. Okay, only one country is involved in railways. Okay, of course it connects different states, but in case of globalization it should connect different countries, then only it is called as integration between countries. Only we have studied. So this is not an example, but here McDonald's introducing McAloo Tiki specially for the Indian menu, which means McDonald's is not the mother office, and the mother office is not from India, it is from some other country, but they have started a branch. So that is also an example of globalization. Spanish family having masala dosas for their weekend breakfast. Okay, idli is specially meant for Tamil Nadu. It's a wonderful South Indian dish. Adanalla when the Spanish family they are tasting it, so it's a interconnection or interconnection or integration, we could say. Now, a multinational company, that is MNC, is a corporate organization that owns and controls production in more than one country. Accordingly, which of the following countries has the best potential for an MNC to be set up? What is the question is about? It's about MNC. Okay, since it is not there in our syllabus, we are not dealing this. Okay. Under the Sustainable Development Goals, social equality with regards to access to resources is one of the most pressing challenges. Accordingly, which of the following crises is related to the statement above? They have spoken about sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Development should take place without affecting the environment. So that is called sustainable. In case of sustainable, what is the example given in your geography book? Okay, Rio de Janeiro. What is their motto? Agenda 21. Apart from Agenda 21, to maintain environment balance and socio-economic equality. That is actually given in your textbook. Now, apart from everything, damage to infrastructure due to floods, scarcity of clean water for consumption. In your economics chapter 1, they have given sustainability of development. That is a topic in first chapter. Take that in your economics. In your economics textbook, you could see that sustainability of development. See here in the right top corner, two different paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you could see that in the first line. Read, someone just read. Page number, what is the page number? 115. First paragraph, what is that? Groundwater is an example of renewable resource. So it is under the topic sustainability of development. Do you understand? So it is there in your book, but you will have to correlate it. Okay. But other than that, it is all something irrelevant. But scarcity of clean water for consumption, which will definitely happen, which is connected with sustainable developmental goals. Now, Sharanya is making a list of natural resources for a project. She puts wind energy under one column and coal under the another column. What is the basis she is classifying the resources? Under which basis she is classifying it? Under exhaustibility, because coal is coming under non-renewable resources. Okay, because their use will get exhausted with their use. Use panna kali aadu illaya, that is called exhaustibility, non-renewable. In case of renewable, what you could say? Renewable, solar, wind, water, wildlife, all these can be categorized under renewable source of energy. Okay. On the basis of exhaustibility, we have seen renewable and non-renewable. On the basis of status of development, இந்த அளவுக்கு நம்ம அதை டெவலப் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். Based upon the status of development, how many types we could see? Potential, developed, stock, reserves. There are 4 types. Okay. So in the geography chapter 1, the first, it's all about resources. Okay, it's all about resources. On the basis of origin, you could say biotic and abiotic. What is biotic? Which has got life. Biotic, obtained in the biosphere, which has got life. Life irukku, living organism நம்ம biotic சொல்லுவோம். Abiotic, which doesn't have life. Okay, which doesn't have life. Rock, okay, metal, all these. Understood? Biotic can be, you know, the example for that is human beings, all those. On the basis of ownership, private, okay, initially individual, community, national and international. Okay, individual, community, national and international. In case of individual, maybe my house is the construction. Okay, maybe the building, the store, whatever, it's an individual resource. In case of a community, you could say example, picnic spot, burial ground, park, all these, because a community as a whole they are owning it. It's common for all the people living in that same community. Do you understand? And in case of national, practically speaking, all the resources belong to nation. Okay, nobody can say this is my house, it is my construction. No, when it comes for the good of public, ஒரு NH போடுறாங்க, when they are expanding the road, obviously நம்ம வீடு 1 crore எத்தனை crores போட்டு கட்டியிருந்தாலுமே, when the government is asking that, we'll have to give. For that we will be given compensation. நமக்கு compensation கொடுத்துருவாங்க. Government will do the valuation and they will give it off. We have got no rights to say no. Understood? In case of any treasure found in our place also, it should be handed over to the government. Though it is found in our place also, it is, you know, it belongs to the government. That is a rule. Okay, so maybe நம்மளோட ground, whatever the land we are getting, ஒரு சில அடிக்கு மேலே என்னோட land, how much ever I will dig, no, it's prohibited, it's wrong. Clear? There are so many rules. Okay, so on the basis of ownership we could say individual, community, national, everything belong to national. In that எல்லா countryக்குமே they have got some oceanic stretch. Okay, இப்போ நம்ம இந்தியாவில் land இருக்கு, we have got 3 different oceans ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, oceans, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, we have got certain limitation. Okay, till how many nautical miles we have got there? 12. In terms of kilometer, 22.2 kilometers. Okay, in terms of kilometer, it is generally kilometer is used to measure the distance on the road, on the land. Okay, we will say it in kilometers. In case of ocean, in case of waters, we will say the unit is nautical miles. Do you understand? So 12 nautical miles, it's a very important question. Understood? And international resource in the sense exclusive economic zone, beyond 200 nautical miles, no separate country has got the right to do any kind of activity in the ocean. Without the concurrence of international institutions, we have got no right to do anything. Understood? But recently we have got, you know, some permission to do a kind of research. It is there, box content it is. What is given in the back? Manganese. Okay, so manganese nodules, to do research on manganese nodules, India has got the permit. We have got the permit in the Indian Ocean. Good. Now on the basis of status of development, you see now status of development we have got again 4 types, that is potential, developed, salt, reserve, stock and reserves. So in case of, what is the difference between these? So you could have, you know, you could have clearly understood by looking at the topic. On the basis of status of development, and the particular reserves நம்ம எந்த அளவுக்கு டெவலப் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம், accordingly we could classify. Understood? Number 1, what is that? Number 1, potential, in the sense the particular resource has got the potential to satisfy our needs, but we didn't, you know, we didn't take any kind of steps from our end. Okay, read that, what is given in the textbook. Okay, so the resources which are found in a region but haven't been utilized. For example, in the western parts of Rajasthan, okay, solar and wind energy is abundantly available. Nariya irukku, but we have never started any kind of, we have never initiated any kind of steps from our end, so which haven't been utilized. Thar desert irukku illaya, it is so hot, but still we didn't start. So that is called potential. That particular place has got particular resource, but which haven't been utilized, that is potential. What is the other one? Developed resource. In case of development, we have found in one place resources available, we have surveyed the quality, quantity, everything is been measured, but what is the definition you read there? The development of resource is further dependent on technology. Okay, so that is called developed. Okay, but whereas in developed we have done the quality, quantity measurement la pannirpom illa, that is called developed. Understood? Then the third category is stock. Stock அப்படின்னா என்ன? Generally stock na enna, நம்ம வீட்டில் ஒரு அரிசி மூட்டையோ ரைஸ் பேக்ஸோ வாட் எவர் த ஃபுட் கிரைன்ஸோ வாங்கி வச்சுப்போம் ஃபார் த ஃபியூச்சர் ரிக்வயர்மெண்ட். புரியுதா? தட் இஸ் கால்ட் ஸ்டாக். அதுபோல் வாட் இஸ் தேர் இன் த எர்த்? எர்த்தில் நமக்கு என்ன பெரிய ஸ்டாக்காக இருக்குது? Water. Simply you remember water, since it is given in your book, that should be your example. Okay, water. In water, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is a very good fuel. Hydrogen is a very good fuel. We have found, but we don't have appropriate technology. எப்போ நம்ம when we will hydrogen வச்சு we have run so many vehicles run பண்ண முடியும். We have found that, but அது implementationல வரல இன்னும். Maybe we don't have appropriate technology to do it. ஓகே, ஹைட்ரஜன் எப்போ நீ கம்பல்சரியாக ஒரு ஃபியூவல்னு சொல்லுவேன்னா, லைக் அதர் பெட்ரோல் டீசல் மாதிரி எப்போ சொல்லுவேன்னா ஹைட்ரஜன் பங்க்ஸ் வரணும். ஓகே, தென் ஒன்லி யூ குட் கால் தட் ஆஸ், பாடன் மீ, மேபி அது வரைக்கும் நம்ம வி கால் இட் ஆஸ் ஸ்டாக். ஓகே, திஸ் இஸ் கால் ஸ்டாக். ஸ்டாக் அப்படின்னால எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஷுட் பி ஹைட்ரஜன். தி அதர் ஒன் ரிசர்வ்ஸ். ரிசர்வ்ஸ் அப்படின்னா வி ஆர் நாட் யூசிங் இட் ஃபார் now, இப்போ யூஸ் பண்ணுறது கிடையாது, which will be kept for the future generation. ஃபியூச்சரில் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக வச்சுருக்கோம். ஓகே, those things are very important. Yeah, now here when it comes here, they have classified under the basis of, since coal is there, no, so we have told under the exhaustibility. Okay, the Nicobar pigeon. Nicobar pigeon is a bird found only on small islands and coastal regions from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and further east through the Malay archipelago to the Solomon and Palau region. Okay, accordingly, which of the following kind of species would it fall under? Endemic. Okay, so these things you might have not studied because you might have given a gap. Okay, you will have to again focus on that. It's an endemic species. Why it is called as endemic? Found in particular region. What is pandemic? Okay, they are isolated. Pandemic. What do you mean by pandemic? We the human beings, we are pandemic. Understood? We are pandemic because you could see human beings wherever you go. Understood? We are pandemic. We are available everywhere on the earth. But endemic is nothing but specific to the region. Okay. Learning from Belgium's experience. What they have done actually? Belgium, they have done accommodation. In case of Sri Lanka, what should come to your mind? Majoritarianism. Okay, majoritarianism. Which of the following steps could have most likely avoided a civil war? So because devising laws to accommodate the ethnic differences of the citizens to ensure peace, because it is much needed. Since it is given accommodation, you have said accommodation. If not accommodation, it is nothing but power sharing. Understood? Either that or this. Look at the world map given below and answer the following question. Which of the following deductions can definitely be made from the map? What kind of deduction you might have meant? So Germany has states that share power with the center. Okay, where is Germany here? Okay, you could see Germany here. Argentina, South America, Asia, it's there. Asia has the maximum number of federal nations. Okay, China does not have provincial administration. Germany has states that share power with the center. Now assertion, in India the literacy rate among women is significantly lower than men. True, okay, because when you compare with men, women have got significantly low literacy rate. Reason, the patriarchal system in India. Patriarchal system, what is patriarchal system? Father is said to be the head of the family, okay. So because we all were, not only we, our ancestors ellarum brought up on a vidham and the madri, so adanal women abdinale they are very much concerned with so many things, not only about women pannakoodadunu illa, because they are not habituated and the mari oru palakkame illa, there is no such kind of customs. So patriarchal system in which India gives more value to the education of heir who carries on the family name. So both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation, okay. Heir varis aduthu, okay, heir. Country P has recently adopted democracy after a long struggle, okay. Which of the following outcomes can the citizens of this country definitely expect, okay, expect due to this change? So when it comes for democracy, what would be the fundamental expectations of the citizens? What they will expect? Sharp decrease in poverty in all communities. No, it's absolutely wrong, because democracy will never guarantee you that once the moment we adopt democracy, overnight we cannot become rich, and democracy had never guaranteed that, okay. But which will avoid the country from being exploited, நம்ம exploit ஆயிடாம நம்ம இன்னும் லோவா போயிடாம, which will safeguard, but it had never given the guarantee, economic developmentக்காக guarantee கொடுக்கல. Democracy is all about set of rules and regulations where people will enjoy ultimate rights, people will be comfortable, freedom will be there, okay. So that is not there. More accountability on part of the government, that is there. That is the very fundamental quality of a democratic country. Or democratic country na accountability irukano. What is accountable? When something goes wrong, we can ask the government, okay, because the representatives, the rulers are elected by us. Naam elect panavanga da avanga. So whenever possible we can question them. Drastic rise in the national income. No, it's again about income, so it is not true. Rules and laws to be drafted according to the needs of the majority groups. False. Opposition slams minister remark, condemns rising fuel prices. Opponent party. What are the components of political party? What are the components? First, leader. In case of a political party, Aditya, tell me Aditya, what are the components of a political party? Leader, active members and the followers. This is a very fundamental, you should read, you should have read, okay. Leader, active members and followers. These are the three components of a political party. How many national political parties we have in India? 8 national political parties we have in India. The 8th one is National People's Party. Understood? Sit down here. Now, the above, the ruling party, who are called a ruling party right now in India? Who is the ruling party? BJP. How they are called a ruling party? Under what? Maximum number of seats won by them, okay. Out of 543, they have got some maximum amount of seats, so they are said to be the ruling party. The second majority is said to be opposition party. They have got complete rights to criticize on the ruling party's decision. Whenever they fail to do something good for the people, they will raise question, opponent party, okay. Now, the above statement shows that the important function of opposition parties in a democracy. Which of the following options does not fall under the function of an opponent party? What the opponent party should not do, okay. Auditing the government spending and budget. That is actually the answer. The reason is opponent party can criticize the government, ruling party on criticize panla when they do something wrong. When they don't do any responsibility properly, responsibility panlanalo avanga sollala. When they have done something wrong also they can comment. So their opponent party's fundamental duty is to make people clear and to ask question, okay. On behalf of people they can ask question, but other than that opponent party have got no power in calculating their amount, how much they have spent, how much they have allocated for the budget இதெல்லாம் அவங்க கேட்கறதுக்கு இல்லை. புரிஞ்சுதா? ஸோ opponent party has got no rights. It's none of their business because ஒரு பட்ஜெட்டில் எந்த ஒரு பில்லுமே where it will be started first, bill is nothing but a request. எங்க அந்த ஆர்டர் ஒரு லாவாக வரும் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில், it will be first introduced in the Lok Sabha and then Rajya Sabha and then finally signed by the president. In most of the thing, money bill has got more power. The PM along with the ministers, they themselves will decide. So opponent party has got no rights in asking questions, but they can criticize, they can ask questions, they can mobilize support, mobilize in the sense gather or spread whatever, okay, mobilize support for the parties to oppose the decisions of the government. These three functions they can do as an opponent party, but they have got nothing to do with the budget. That is not their job. Understood? Which of the following shortcomings are nothing but disadvantage. Shortcomings are nothing but disadvantage. Which of the following disadvantages definitely exist in a democratic regime? Okay, ஒரு democratic regimeல இருக்கக்கூடிய கண்டிப்பா இருந்தே இருக்கு. What is the disadvantage? Glorification of war இல்ல. Okay, sluggish decision making கண்டிப்பா இருக்கும். sluggish அப்படின்னா very slow. slug அப்படின்னா அந்த நத்தை சொல்லுவோம்ல, snail. so sluggish அப்படின்னா ரொம்ப சோம்பேறியா இருக்கிறது, very slow in everything. Okay, any examples from the class? Nobody sluggish here? Okay, sluggish is nothing but very slow. So sluggish decision making, obviously it's a known disadvantage from a democratic country. They will take a lot of time to take a decision. Okay, sluggish decision making. Elimination of free market, diffusion of aggressive nationalism. See, these three are totally irrelevant. These three are totally irrelevant. What, mister? Who is sluggish in the class? Tell me, why are you laughing then? Okay, so 15th question, given below are some allegories used in Europe during the nationalist movement. What is allegory? What is allegory? An abstract idea. An abstract idea, a symbol which used to describe the nation. Okay, or nation describe panna, for example, we have Bharat Mata in India. Similarly, they have got allegories for different nations. Here, accordingly, which one of the following signified the beginning of new era? Rays of, here it is here, rays of rising sun. Now tell me, broken chains? Freedom. Rays of the rising sun, beginning of new era. All of you must be quiet except Vicky. Breastplate with eagle. German people are eagles. What is the answer? Breastplate with eagle. Eagle is meant for strength. Eagle is meant for strength. Okay, so breastplate with eagle is all about strength. Understood? Now, olive branch around the sword. Willingness to make peace. Okay, we are not ready to fight. That is the oliveness branch around the sword. What is, what sword represents? Sword, readiness to fight. Pona ready, andha madri. Okay, readiness to fight. Understood? Now read the given data, answer the following questions. Now name the country. This is the data they have given. Identify the country that most probably has a well developed healthcare system but lesser average education than India. What is that? Nepal. Okay, first you read the data. What it given? What here? What is here? Gross national income. That is about money, income. How are they earning? When we compare India, Sri Lanka is actually rocking. Do you understand? Sri Lanka is actually rocking in terms of income. Not only in terms of income, but also in life expectancy and mean years of schooling of aged people. Okay, people aged 25 and above. Okay, and HDI rank. HDI rank should be higher. HDI rank அதிகமா இருக்கு அப்படின்னா, which is very obvious that they are very good at in three different grounds. One is income, healthcare and education. இது மூணும் சேர்ந்ததா என்ன? Human Development Index. Okay, there is nothing much. Now India is in the second place in the South Asian countries, India is in the second place. But you see, why they have given Nepal here? Hey, whether Pakistan is exceeding us in any of the ways, but here it is exceeding. Okay. Then what about here? Nepal. What actually they have asked in the question? Well development healthcare, but lesser in average. So we'll have to compare these two, income and healthcare. Healthcare la edu India vida adhigama irukku, which is something greater. Okay, Bangladesh. Okay, Bangladesh is also there, but it is not given in the option. Average education. Okay, then we will have to compare these two. Okay, what would be the answer? Nepal. When you compare these two, here see, in terms of healthcare, Nepal is actually exceeding, but here in case of schooling it is lesser. So the answer should be Nepal. Okay. Now what is this? The woodcut painting below was created during the time when Indians were beginning to accept the idea of women's education in the late 19th century. At last they have understood the importance. Okay, what the picture says? Ma, which of the following sceneries was the artist most likely trying to portray in this art? Huh? Did they give that in the picture? Okay, so both of them have changed their actions. Okay, this is what the artist trying to explain. Listening to music is the best way to spend one's free time. It's ulagamaga urut. Okay, now that cannot be accepted. Increasing popularity of Western idea of marriage. No, and pleasure being the ultimate goal of life. Okay, that is also not the thing. Now the thing is challenging the conventional gender roles. Conventional is nothing but kalagalama solluvala, with a tradition. Okay, so those roles are changed now in the 19th century. Okay, so challenging the conventional roles. So see, whenever this is the pattern, you will be getting it in the board examination also. Picture based question, it is for you. Visually impaired, they will give the, immediately they will give the next question. You should never attend this question because it is for visually impaired. Understood? If you attend this question, you will not be given marks. So automatically, picture based in a way, it is for you. Visually impaired, you should never touch. Now, tremble, therefore, tyrants of the world, tremble before the virtual writer. What did Mercier mean by this above line? Printing of books had the potential to bring to an end to despotism. Okay, it's actually there in the book. It is given in the textbook. Okay, despotism is all about cruel rule. Printing will definitely give an end to all of this. In a printing world, we cannot make the people clear about anything. Okay, it would create wide ranging impacts. Is it there in the book? Where it is? Now, against 18th question, against which of the following forms of discrimination did Mahatma Gandhi launch a satyagraha in South Africa? What was? It's about racist. Okay, based upon people's skin color, they have done a problem. Okay, that is called racist. From where to where he had travelled? Newcastle to Transvaal. Good. Newcastle to Transvaal he had marched. Okay, good. Hey, look at the image given below. What is the image? Hey, is it dumping of waste, my dear? Look at the picture clearly. No, you no need to see anything. Okay, fully developed, and the other one is with huts. Okay, what it talks about? No. Here say, listen one thing. Either construction of dam is nothing but development for one and the destruction for other. You could say, because when you construct a dam, it is very much helpful in controlling the flood, in generating electricity, in so many ways it is useful. But whereas for the tribal community, it is a threat. Understood? That can be said, developmental for one, maybe the destruction for the other, construction of dam. But here, reducing income disparities, aduva. Okay, combating climate change. What is the climate change here? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, and ending gender violence. It's not about gender also. It's not about climate change. And ensuring the caste equality. Ensuring the caste equality. Now, so tell me what it is. Reducing income disparity. Okay, this is there in your book. It's given in your book. Okay, so the answer is reducing income. That is what their developmental goal. So based upon the developmental goal, you could expect so many questions. So initially, you complete reading what is actually given in the box and try to write other developmental goals also. They have given some activity na. Yes, that is there. So Monica is reading an abstract written by Tarabai Shinde. What is Tarabai Shinde's abstract? Which of the following is most likely to be the central issue of the text? Tarabai Shinde. She spoke about Brahminical priesthood, all those. Okay. So religious indoctrination by the priest, miserable lives of farmers. No, she didn't write about this. Exploitation of children by factory owners. No, these two are irrelevant. First, this is how you will have to approach a question. Totally irrelevant. These two you may have some doubt, but she had completely written about Hindu widows. Okay, Hindu widows. In her book, she had covered that. Okay. So the option should be plight of upper caste Hindu widows. Do you understand? That's all. Yeah, this is how you should attend the question. 20 marks. If you get 20 out of 20, the chances of getting centum is much easier. I will give you that guarantee. If you get 20 out of 20 in 1 marks, the chances are really high. Okay. Other than that, you can see the questions that we will see later. Any other question paper? Set 2, where it is? Is it there? See now, which set of symbols, okay, which set of symbols of nationalism of Europe and their significance is incorrectly paired? Tell me what is incorrectly paired. Heroism. Okay, heroism, here it is given the tricolor. It's wrong. Justice. What is justice? Justice generally will be denoted as blindfolded women carrying a pair of weighing scales. That is true. Liberty. Either they will wear red cap. It's a form of freedom for them. And yeah, broken chains. Readiness to fight. It is what? So the answer is R. Heroism. What is heroism represents? Okay, crown of oak leaves. So most conservative regimes set up in 1815 imposed censorship laws. Which of the following did they want to control through such laws? What they wanted to control? What they wanted to control? Do you understand the question first of all? In regimes set up in 1815 imposed censorship laws. What they wanted to censor? எதை கட் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க? What was written about them? The increasing demand for modernizing the army, the spread of ideas of liberty and freedom reflected in the newspapers, or the spread of idea that modernization could strengthen traditional institutions. PR could be the answer. Okay, PR could be the answer. What was written about them? Okay, but we'll see. Third question. Pencil. Okay, so what? Why have to use pencil now? Maybe to mark something. Okay. Now see, when France sneezes, Metternich once marked the rest of the Europe catches cold. What did Duke Metternich mean by this statement? What did he mean? What did he mean? What did he mean? What did he mean? France Bourbon dynasty was the most influential line of kings in Europe. French trade guilds wielded enormous powers over European trade. France had begun annexing. France nationalist movement inspired other nations. D should be the answer, because whenever you see, French Revolution was the world's first successful revolution, which was first happened in France. Okay, France la dhaan nadandhuchu. Immediately enna pannuchu, this French Revolution was inspired so many in other countries, and they too started revoluting again. So same thing, அதனால தான் அவர் சொன்னாரு பிரான்ஸ்ல எது நடந்தாலும் immediately rest of the Europe catches cold. So France nationalist movement inspired other nations. Okay, now R. Why was a customs union Zollverein formed by Russia and most of the German states in 1834? Why? To abolish, state abolished restrictions, that is option A. To encourage the state-wise system of weights and measures, to boost trade with England. No, it is totally incorrect. D. To import more goods from the landlocked Balkans. It is also not there. So the correct answer is to abolish state-imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capital. Goods and capital மேல சம்பந்தமே இல்லாத restrictions இருந்துச்சு. They wanted to remove it. Okay, option A. And which of the following relief features of India possesses the highest reserves of minerals and fossils? Chota Nagpur Plateau. Why are you people are keeping so silent? Yeah, because நீங்க coastal plain mineral and fossil னு வந்தாலே எங்க தான் இருக்கணும்? Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, plateau is actually known for resource rich mineral base. புரியுதா? நீங்க coastal னா என்ன? The area, okay, where both land and sea meets, that is coastal plain. Gangetic plain is nothing but it is well suited for agriculture. And Shivalik mountains. What is Shivaliks? Himalayas oda bottom layer irukku illaya, the lower most range, that is called Shivalik. Okay, Chota Nagpur Plateau highest reserves of minerals and fossil fuels? Roshini, tell your friends. Okay, now read the passage. Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh are rich in mineral deposits. Okay. Arunachal Pradesh has abundant water resource but lacks infrastructural development. Rajasthan is endowed with solar and wind energy but lacks water resources. The cold desert of Ladakh has a rich cultural heritage but it is deficient in water and infrastructure. Which of the following best describes the passage? ஒரு இடத்துல ஒன்று இருக்கு, இன்னொன்று டெஃபிஷியண்டாக இருக்கு. இந்தியா இஸ் எனார்மஸ் அப்படின்னா எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்கணும்ல, அப்போ தானே நம்ம சி சொல்லுவோம். No, all regions in India are economically self-sufficient to utilize resource. Only Rajasthan has the scope to utilize renewable resource. India has enormous diversity in the availability of resources because it was diversified. You can't expect everything at in one particular place. So it was diversified what is available. Okay, good. Option C. Now fifth one, there are two statements given below marked as assertion. Okay. Now so assertion, resource planning is a complex process. Okay, may be true. Resource planning is a complex planning process. Resource planning helps in effective and judicious use of resources. Adu konja complex tha, but still it is judicious and useful. You could say D or C? C. Could be C. Okay. Now who are ineligible to vote in the presidential elections? Yaar? Who are ineligible? Yarlanda ineligible? Members of the state legislative assemblies, members of the state legislative council, members of Rajya Sabha, members of Lok Sabha. Huh? Who are not eligible? So you see, generally you have got Lok Sabha, okay, then Rajya Sabha, Council of States, we call it as Council of States, House of People, because all are elected by people here. நம்ம vote பண்றவங்க தான் இங்க இருப்பாங்க. 545 members, 545 MPs actually. இதில் 543 நம்ம vote பண்ணுவோம். 543 constituencies we have divided India, plus 2 Anglo-Indians will be selected by president. புரிஞ்சுதா? So இவங்க எல்லாருமே all are elected by people, but here Rajya Sabha MPs which will not get dissolved பண்ணவே முடியாது, ஏன்னா அதுக்கோட tenure வேற. Okay, they are not directly elected by people but they are elected by elected representatives. இங்க இருக்காங்கல்ல இந்த elected representatives தான், they will elect them. Understood? Then on top of everything, president. இப்போ president என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, who will elect? Members of Lok Sabha automatically they elect. Ineligible to vote in the presidential election. What about members of state legislative council? Members of state legislative assemblies, okay, they are not allowed to take any kind of decisions, but you could take these Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members and members of the state legislative council. Might be because ஏன்னா அவங்களும் எம்பியா வருவாங்கல்ல, but you could say option A. Take down, we will have to discuss that later. Okay, finally we will have to verify the answers. Understood? Then the other thing, everything would come to an end if legislative, executive and judicial powers of government were to be exercised by the same person or authority. Which of the following is the best explanation of this quote? Everything would come to an end, எல்லாமே முடிஞ்சிரும், if legislative, executive, judicial powers of government were to be exercised by the same person. ஒரே பர்சன் தான் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா என்ன ஆகும்? What would be the answer? All work in a country will stop in the absence of power sharing. No, which cannot come. Separation of powers is indeed to strengthen democracy. ஆனா இந்த கோட்டை பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றதா எது இருக்கும்? Governments can only function if powers are distributed. No. People cannot exist in a nation if powers are not divided. Okay. So because they are talking about that only, everything would come to an end if the legislative, executive and judicial powers of the government were to be exercised by the same person. இந்த மாதிரிலாம் எதுவுமே இல்லாமல் ஒரே ஒரு ஆள் மட்டும் லைக் ஹிட்லர், இஃப் தே வாண்ட் டு ரூல் த கண்ட்ரி தென் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி எவ்ரிதிங் வில் கம் டு அன் எண்ட். அதான் சொல்கிறாங்க பீப்புள் cannot exist. அந்த மாதிரி கவர்மெண்ட்டில் பீப்புள் cannot exist in a nation if the powers are not divided. Okay, so take down this also. Eighth question, power sharing can be vertical as well as horizontal. Is it correct? Vertical as well as can be horizontal power sharing. What are the forms of power sharing? Yeah, vertical, horizontal. Power is shared among different social groups, then power is shared among different political parties. Good, very important question, detailed question. All religious communities have reserved seats in the central government in India. இது என்னடா புது உருட்டா இருக்கு? No. Okay, no religious. We had spoken about reservations. We had spoken about reservations based upon the caste, based upon gender. These two reservations we had spoken. That is what we have studied in decentralization. When decentralization was amended in India? 1992. 1992. Okay, decentralization is all about taking the power from central government and state government and giving it to the local government. Okay, adula we do spoke about we had spoken about reservation for SC, ST, OBCs, and 1/3 of the seats must be reserved for women, but no such kind of religious communities. Okay, so the answer is only P. Okay. Okay, given below is the income distribution of fictional. Okay, what tell me? Distribution of two fictional countries, fictional in the sense not true. Okay, which each with a population of 5%. Okay, 5 பேர் இருக்காங்க. Which of them would have a wide gap between the rich and poor? A. Which of them would have a wide gap, which means ரொம்ப கேப் இருக்கிறது எங்க? Between rich and poor இருக்கும். Obviously எவ்வளோ பேருடா இருக்காங்க? 5% இருக்காங்க. பட் இங்க என்ன 4 தான் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. மேபி 5th person you assume 5th person, when you assume 5th person ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி என்ன வரும்? ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக என்ன பண்ணணும்? அந்த எக்ஸ்ன்றவங்க இருக்குவாங்களா 5th person, அப்போ கண்டிப்பாக இதில் 4த்தையும் சேர்த்தாலும் உனக்கு கொஞ்சம் தான் வரும். அப்போ இந்த 5வது பர்சனுக்கு தான் என்ன பண்ணணும்? நீ அதிகமான அமௌண்ட் ஷேர் போகும். டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? பட் ஆனால் இங்கே பாருங்கள், மோர் ஈக்குவிட்டபிள் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் ஆஃப் இன்கம் இருக்குது. இங்கே இத்தனை தான் 9,000, 10,000, 9,000, 10,000 ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக அவங்களும் குறைவாக தான் வர்றதுக்கு சான்ஸ். இட் இஸ் தேர் இன் யுவர் புக்லேயே கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அதை. ஸோ Q, country Q. Let us see, finally we'll check the answer. Okay, which of the following is not a public good? இது இதில் public good இல்லை. Stationery தான் public good, remaining 3 public good. Which of the following gives correct explanation of gross domestic products? What is the correct explanation? GDP. The value of final goods and services added for secondary and tertiary. No, அப்போ all 3 sectors. Okay, for 1 year. ஏன் இங்கே நம்ம கொடுக்கலாத எவ்ரி குட் அண்ட் சர்வீஸ் கொடுக்க முடியாது? பிகாஸ் இன் கால்குலேட்டிங் ஜிடிபி வி ஷுட் நாட் ஆட் இன்டர்மீடியட் குட்டோட இது நம்ம சேர்க்கக்கூடாது. இன்டர்மீடியட்னா which is used to create the final good, அது சேர்க்க மாட்டோம். ஸோ ஃபைனல் goods and services alone we will calculate and add. Okay, in all 3 sectors. Which of the following is an example of dependency of the primary sector and the tertiary sector? Tell me an example. All three sectors are interdependent. Are you clear with that? Weavers made less money because the shops did not want to sell handloom products. Bank employees could not reach on time due to transportation strike. Dependency on of the primary sector on tertiary sector. Hey, primary sector on tertiary sector. Primary எந்த அளவுக்கு tertiary டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி இருக்குன்றதே இது எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுது. எப்படி பேங்க் அப்படின்னா வர முடியாது. பேங்க் அண்ட் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டேஷன் ரெண்டுமே சர்வீஸ் செக்டார். ஓகே. Farmers suffered a loss when there was not enough water to grow cotton. Okay, C could be the answer because C is a primary sector. The primary sector is facing a problem when they are not, when the shops went on strike. Okay, they could not sell anything. Yeah, dairy spelling is wrong. No, that's not, that you cannot expect. Okay. See, observe the map. Once upon a time everything was low, now everything is increased, especially there is a rise in tertiary sector. Which of the following statements best explains the graph? See, the production in all three sectors has increased and it has increased the most in the tertiary sector. In all three sectors. C, good. Okay. Read the passage. No, we'll see after the break. Okay. Where can we give pass here?